Can we just become a Heated Rivalry podcast?
I mean, we can.
Like, let's pivot. What's the point anymore?
We're hard pivoting.
We're hard pivoting to Heated Rivalry.
Not to the NHL.
No. To the fake hockey.
The Major League Hockey. I want MLH hockey. Where's that?
Well, give me my MLH hockey.
Yeah, give me that good fake MLH hockey.
Welcome to MotoMouths, the podcast for MotoGP, motorsports, and more. I'm your host, Zoe, and I had the craziest dream last night.
I'm your other host, also named Zoe, and what was your dream about?
It was actually really more of a nightmare. I dreamt that Lando Norris became world champion.
Right. So here's the thing. I have some bad news for you.
What?
That was real. However,
No.
I have some good news for you. You don't have to say nice things about him.
That is so true. And I was thinking about that today. And I was like, should I prepare 20 not nice things to say?
No, I mean, we've probably already hit 20 not nice things to say about Lando Norris just in the last couple weeks alone.
Yeah.
We don't need to do it again.
We start getting into personal attacks real quick.
And that's not for here.
No. I mean, it can be, but just we'll be couth. I can't say this is a safe space for people who are happy about the outcome of this championship, but...
Oh, we've never said that. We've never made that claim.
We've never made that claim. Let's make a disclaimer. This podcast has never been, nor will ever be, unbiased in any way, shape, or form whatsoever.
We're not journalists.
We're not journalists. I can't say it enough. Like, I'm a journalist, and I'm not a journalist.
I just full stop am not. I
Right.
like knowing things. That's all I've got.
I like to be a learner.
I like to engage. So yeah, we will be talking about it. We'll get into the nitty gritty of our waking nightmare. Don't worry.
Sleep paralysis demons.
But actually, before we get into any of that, can I talk about Jorge Martin for a minute at the top of the pod?
Please talk about Jorge Martin for a minute at the top of the pod. I thought you were going to say Jorge Lorenzo, who seems to have taken over that spot for the time being.
No, it is truly like Jorge v. Jorge.
Yeah, it's Jorge Hour. It's the Jorge Hour with a J.
It is the Jorge Hour.
Hour, yes, with a J.
Or if we want to go British pronunciation,
Jorge.
It's the Jorge Jower.
Yeah, the Jorge Jower Power Jower.
Power Jower. Yeah. So to kick off the inaugural Jorge Power Jower. Jorge Martin, there's not any MotoGP news because the season has been over.
It's over.
But I was poking around the other day, and Jorge Martin at Valencia at the end of the season apparently was the victim of a crime. I know this is shocking.
Of passion?
His 20,000-pound bicycle was stolen from the paddock in Valencia. 20,000 pounds on a bicycle.
Why are you as a man spending 20,000 pounds on a bicycle? You're not fucking Lance Armstrong.
I mean, my guess is that it was probably a gift from the brand. Because even then, I don't think MotoGP guys will spend that much money on something.
I don't think professional cyclists will spend that much money on a bike.
Right. That's not like a house or a car.
Right.
I don't think they actually have that much money. But he does apparently have a 20,000-pound valued bike. And it was stolen in Valencia.
God, they must have had a really hard time getting out of the paddock if it weighed that much. Get real money, England.
Horrible joke. Horrible joke. This is Spain.
Well, then it's euros.
I mean, I think the valuation is probably different, and it's probably a cleaner number in pounds. Maybe it is euros. Anyways, I don't care about any of that shit. I'm a Yank. I have dollars, and I have inches, and I have miles. And guess what? I also have Fahrenheit.
Wow. I will defend Fahrenheit until the day I die.
I will too. This is like, we don't have to get into it because I think we're on the exact same page, but why the fuck would I use Celsius when Fahrenheit is about water, which is 98% of what the human body is?
Why would I use numbers that are inaccurate to the actual temperature?
Anyways,
back to the Jorge Power Jower.
Yeah, so they did make an arrest. That is like the big
Whoa.
news. It's apparently this like 44-year-old Spanish guy who has like a history of
It's Fernando Alonso. Fernando.
Well, the craziest thing about this story is that this guy has a history of theft and dressed up as a KTM mechanic to
Oh my God.
go around the paddock and steal the bike.
It's Fernando Alonso.
Fernando Alonso, where were you?
Where were you?
Oh my God.
I bet he was behind the Louvre heist as well.
No, it was him and Woody Harrelson.
Yep.
Definitely
in cahoots.
All right, that's the end of the Jorge Power Jower.
No, we still have more Jorge. He was in Abu Dhabi, his place of residence this weekend.
Oh yeah, he was in Abu Dhabi. He did congratulate the new F1 world champion on his title, and I was like, seems like y'all are buddies, and honestly, makes complete and total sense.
It seemed very accurate to me that he was in the Ferrari garage.
Oh, we're talking about two different Jorges right now. You're talking about J-Lo. I'm talking about J-Mar.
It's the Jorge Power Jower. We can talk about all the Jorges.
Right. J-Lo was in the Ferrari garage. He was looking cunt, slay, diva. Yeah. As kind of he always does.
Yeah.
I have to be honest.
Honestly, I'm not that familiar with what J-Lo looks like. And I was like, who is that?
Jorge Lorenzo.
Like, he looked like a male model that had aged out of being a male model ungracefully.
And he's 5'4".
And he was very short. Standing there next to Katy Perry.
My favorite lore about Jorge Lorenzo is that his dad, crazy person, taught J-Lo Mossad mind tricks. Like used Mossad training to help Jorge Lorenzo be a better competitor. And now that is what he is teaching, reportedly, Maverick Vinales. Talk about generational trauma.
No, literally. Yeah, he was standing next to Katy Perry. Do you think he taught her Mossad mind tricks?
Absolutely not. You think Katy Perry could retain any of that?
No.
And that's that on that.
Should we?
We've been teasing this for weeks.
We've been putting it off.
Because we've been lazy and tired. We need to talk about our beginning of season predictions now that the season has ended for both MotoGP and F1. Are you ready?
The time has come to go over our absolutely ass predictions for the year.
I will say it's like a 50-50, you know?
All right.
Okay, so we did this for F1 and MotoGP. We went for MotoGP top 5, Crash King, Japanese Cup, and then we'll get into F1 after that. For MotoGP, I'm going to go through our top 5 first.
Okay.
So I predicted Mark P1.
Good job.
Which I nailed. I had Pecco as my P2. Didn't happen.
No.
This is where things for me start to get funny.
Yeah.
Jorge Martin was my P3 guess.
Yeah.
And I want to say, I want to actually stand 10 toes down on this because my thinking was right. Because my argument for this was I believed in the Aprilia project and I was thinking they're not the most consistent. If they got their consistency together, Jorge Martin, and you agreed with me, you said something similar where Jorge has a spite, he's in therapy, he has a drive to win.
Mm-hmm.
If Aprilia gets their shit together, Jorge's really fucking fast. Made sense.
Yeah, made sense.
A lot of other shit did happen very quickly after we made this prediction.
Yeah. He did enter another type of therapy.
Right.
Pretty quickly.
Yes. And it was physical.
I
then guessed Digia as P4 because, and I quote, if he's not in the top 5 at the end of the year, it's a bad investment by Ducati.
Well, you were right on that.
I was right. He did end up P6, so it was close, whatever. And then my P5 guess was Marco Bezzecchi, which is so funny listening back to that episode. I was verging on delusional when I made that guess. I was like trying to explain it as if I was saying that Al Gore was going to win the presidency. Like it was, the vibe was crazy. And it got even better is the thing.
You were seeing shrimp colors.
Yeah. Speaking of colors, I did also predict that I would go gray faster because of this season. And that is true. That's true. You predicted Mark P1.
Wow. Great.
Nailed it.
Nailed it.
We're both like 1 out of 5.
Woo!
The most difficult prediction of the year.
Really? The one that nobody saw coming.
No, total shocker. You guessed, we were kind of swapped. So you guessed Jorge P2, Pecco P3.
And you know what?
Like we were working with what we had.
With the information I had at the time, I don't think that's a bad prediction.
Right. I agree.
How was I supposed to know they both would experience the lows of ego death never before seen?
And like forever. It didn't end.
Who's to say?
Who's to say? In a universe very close to this one, I think we both were right.
Yes.
You then had Fabio Quartararo as P4.
I don't know. I don't know anything. I don't know anything. He did win some races this year. Did he? No, he didn't.
No. He got a lot of poles.
He got a lot of poles. He did get P2.
Yeah, I think so.
At some point, if I recall correctly.
And then your P5 guess. Are you ready?
I know who it was.
Do you want to say it?
It was my guy, Brad Binder.
You guessed Brad Binder for P5. Do you want to know where he ended up at the end of the year?
Yeah, please tell me. Enlighten me.
P11.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look, I think I will do marginally better next year. I don't think it'll be a lot better, but I think it'll be marginal.
We just got to see some progress from both of us.
Right.
Some. Doesn't have to be a lot.
Right.
The real top 5 were Mark, Alex, Bez, Pedro, and then Pecco. So
wait, Pedro Acosta did come out ahead of Pecco.
He did, yes.
That's crazy.
Yes. Mm-hmm. By a good chunk of points. The point differential from Pedro to Pecco is 307 to 288.
Yikes.
Embarrassing. Speaking of Pedro, for the Crash King prediction, my guess was Pedro Acosta. And who was your guess?
Noted wheelie enjoyer Fabio Di Giannantonio.
And guess who actually was the Crash King of the season?
Here's the thing.
What?
We forgot about Johann Zarco.
We always forget about Johann Zarco. And like, if nothing else, I do think it's really funny that the universe took our like dumb little bit and was like, here you go.
Here you go. You really forgot about Johann Zarco.
The funny thing is that he's like one of the top scorers of Honda over the course of the year.
Well, and also like he had a pretty good season. Like he won a race.
Mm-hmm. He was on a couple podiums.
He did a lot of backflips.
He did. I think 2.
At least. We don't know what he does in his private life.
You know who had the least amount of crashes this year?
Who?
Fabio Di Giannantonio. I feel like I'm talking more about Digio this episode than I ever do.
I'm so stupid.
This is the funniest he's ever been to me. Like, I'm so uninterested in him, except for this moment right now.
Oh my God. I thought he was going to play a much bigger role in the season, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody did. But we were all like digmatized by the Desmos Adiches that we forgot how kind of mid he is.
Yeah.
Like mid enough to stick around and like do his thing, but nothing crazy.
Wow.
So the Japanese Cup was also our last prediction.
This is so silly to me.
We fucked this one up. We fucked it up bad.
Did we fuck it up or did Yamaha fuck it up?
Oh, you're right. That's actually what happened.
Like, we were 10 toes down correct on this. It's not our fault that Yamaha just ate ass all season.
And testing got us all because as soon as we got into like the tracks that they didn't do testing at, everyone was like, hey, what's wrong? This is really bad.
Yeah. And also, like, how are we supposed to know that Honda was going to end their generational curse this year?
Right. And they're the only team this season that got them up a concession class. Like, let us not forget the work that Luca Marini and I guess Johan Zarco and
those other two,
Joe Amir did over the course of the season. Like, they worked really fucking hard.
Who's on the other? Who's on the other?
Somkat Chandra.
Oh,
he didn't really do anything. But also, reports suggest he didn't actually get that much support. So,
is he going to be on the grid next year?
He is not.
Yikes.
Yeah. Diego Moreira is taking his seat.
Was he ever really on the grid this year?
No.
Right.
Yeah. The point differential between those two teams at the end, like those two manufacturers at the end of the season, Honda had 285 points and Yamaha had 247. So it was really a decisive victory over there.
And how are we to know?
Like, I didn't have a crystal ball.
I have balls, but none of them are crystal.
Okay. So we could have sucked ass at predictions this year. And our goal for next year, honestly, my New Year's resolution is to be just a fraction better. Nothing crazy, just a little bit better.
Yeah. Like getting 2 right next year instead of 1.
Right, exactly. I would love to get 2 right.
Me too.
I would also, I think my goal is to get the Japanese Cup prediction right next year. I'm a little embarrassed about that one.
I don't think we should be embarrassed. I think Yamaha should be embarrassed.
You're right. There's not too much else to talk about with MotoGP. We are starting to see teams announce when they're doing livery reveals next year.
Oh my God.
But it is too soon to discuss. I need a winter break.
Yeah.
Call me Lewis Hamilton the way that no one will be able to get a hold of me.
The way I am flying off the grid.
The way I am throwing my phone into the trash can. I mean, I won't, but the point stands.
Well,
I know we don't want to.
I guess that brings us to the great wide world of motorsport.
It does. Is the thing. I'll say it. We need to just say it. We need to say it flat out. This is not the result that we wanted. And sport happens. I think it is the result that F1, the FIA, and McLaren very much wanted. Yeah.
I think that there are a few singular points throughout the season that you can look at and say specifically, this was them closing their eyes and saying, but
saying what?
I don't know. I couldn't come up with anything. Saying #go free.
Really?
So Lando Norris.
I mean, we have to kind of deal with it. Like, it sucks. I don't like it, but it's done. It happened.
Lando Norris won the championship this year.
Here's the thing. I think it's just annoying. The whole season and like the whole McLaren situation has been annoying. We've kind of talked about that a lot. I love to beat a dead horse. I think there's an aspect of like, I have made my peace with it in a way because this is what happens. To keep the ecosystem healthy and like sustainable, there has to be an aspect of just like hatred and annoyingness. I think this is also one of those seasons where it is very clear that we talk about this all the time, that like sport isn't anything that you deserve.
Correct.
But the like natural next step of that argument is that sometimes even when you earn it, you don't get it.
Which 100%, right? Even when you earn it, you don't get it. And even when you don't earn it, you do get it.
Because it is like it's a points-based series. It's based on something like, 38 events that you can get points in. And there's just so much else that happens. There's 20 people on that grid. There's 100 people per car.
1,400 people in a factory.
Yeah. My thing is like, I don't think he's illegitimate because I have seen people talking about this.
No, by no means is he illegitimate.
Right. His parents are married, But I just think it's annoying, and I think we just have to live with it, and that it is what it is. Like, we've been very lucky, you and I, the last couple of years to have Max Verstappen at like the peak of his performance with a team that can make it work. And this is just the way it is. I saw someone say online that, every
Every generation, there
We
needs to
need
be
an asshole.
We need one just absolutely ass champion, a one-off champion that
If this
just,
is my Villeneuve, I will take it. Because, like, Lando, say what you will about him, I can hate that athlete for the rest of my life and feel good about it.
yeah, he just keeps providing, adds fuel to the fire.
And on some level, again, healthy for the ecosystem.
Correct. And you know what? I'm connecting the dots here.
Mm-hmm.
What is the similarities between Jacques Villeneuve, Jenson Button, Nico Rosberg, and Lando Norris?
They're all white men and kind of annoying.
Exactly. So let's talk about the race. I was stupid and I let my hopes get up.
You weren't stupid. Here's the thing. Like, once again, what I also really love about this season and what I think will be the overarching like story of the season is Max Verstappen
Defied the odds.
Yeah, and remembering that he really fucking wants this still.
Yeah.
Like, there's been so many jokes made that have been good, and I laugh and I make them too, about him retiring early because it's not fun for him anymore. And I think Max is that guy that like needs the drive, needs the competitiveness, needs to feel like something's on the line. And he hasn't felt like that for a couple of years.
Yeah.
And I think this season was like him remembering that, oh, I fucking love this. I love this when it goes wrong. I love this when it goes right. I love it all because like at least we're putting it all out there. And to me, that's the story of the season above anything else.
I agree. I think he was buoyed by the rising tides of change around him. Like, I truly believe that a culture shift occurred at Red Bull. We're seeing it continue.
Oh, yeah.
I think that there was like a boot came off the back of Red Bull Racing. Everyone kind of perked up a bit. There was some new blood in the leadership. And I think that when the whole organization's spirits are lifted, it's hard to not get caught up in that and want to continue to feed that cycle. Like,
morale is such a big deal. Like,
it's such a big deal.
If you haven't ever worked in an office, and I know Red Bull Racing is not like an office culture, the theory still applies that morale of an organization is the thing that keeps it alive. It is the thing that kills it. Like, it is so important for culture. And it's this thing that like CEOs and like whatever love to like harp on. And when you interview for your new job, like you need to be digging in as much as possible into what that corporate culture is. And I think if you look back, I've talked about this, where the beginning of Red Bull, their culture was fun and their culture was going for it. And yes, their culture was toxic. That is very true and remains true in some ways. But their culture was all about, we're going to give it everything we have. We're going to have fun while we do it. And we're going to try really fucking hard because we're the best and we deserve it. Red Bull hasn't felt like that in years.
If I'm being honest, I don't know if I agree with you that Max remembered he wants it. I think Max remembered how much the people around him want it. And that's why he went as hard as he did. I think that more than any other season, except for maybe his first World Championship win, this season was one that was fought for his garage, for GP, for the people back at the factory, for Red Bull Racing.
Yeah.
I truly think that looking at his actions, his psyche, how the narratives change, especially looking at his post-race radio, that's what kind of really
disagree.
Solidified it for me, that this was a bigger than Max fight, that he saw himself as the weapon of a fight for the spirit of Red Bull Racing.
Yeah, I don't disagree because based on his comments at the end of Abu Dhabi, I totally see what you're saying. I just think that like Max doesn't race for other people. Like the baseline, he doesn't race for other people. He races because he loves it. Yeah. I'm not saying he doesn't feel tenderly about this organization and this team, because he does. I think I just disagree that like, I think now more than ever, Max knows who he is separate from the sport and separate
100%, 100%.
Putting everything he is into the sport. And I think he knows now more than ever what it is to walk away from it, or at least consider it. And so I think like, yeah, it felt like after the summer break, everyone at Red Bull just kind of coalesced around this goal of, we've been through something really hard as like an organization. We've fractured. Our job as a team is to now work towards this bigger goal, and Max is the person at the front of it. And I think, to me, if nothing else, that's a Laurent Mekies thing. I think that is something he should be incredibly proud of as a new TP.
Yeah, I think in all things, it's probably a combination.
Yeah. I mean, he loves that team. He fucking loves that team.
He fucking loves that team. And you know what? I want to retract something I said earlier. I didn't get my hopes up because I will never regret having optimism and believing in the good outcomes because, frankly, I don't deserve to think of negative things happening before they actually happen.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's no point in borrowing trouble.
Exactly. Exactly.
And also, like, it's Max Verstappen. If there's anyone on that grid you can believe in to, like, turn the tides, it's him.
It's truly him. So let's talk about the race.
So the big question going into the race was if Oscar is in a position to help Lando get on the podium, is he going to do that? And essentially Saturday night, McLaren confirmed that they will be using team orders if that is a situation in which they find themselves, which we've talked about it. Like, Oscar, I think, get the fuck up, get out of that team.
I just also think that, like, at some point, I understand team orders are now allowed.
Yeah.
But I think it nullifies the purpose of the fucking sport to utilize them.
I also think it's really fucking rude when Oscar has just as much of a chance as Max to win this title. Like, that's the other thing.
You are at that point, I'm sorry, I'm calling spade a spade. You are fixing the championship. You are fixing the fucking championship.
I mean, also, I don't understand why you came out and said that because they split the strategies anyways and gave the optimal one to Lando, which again is their job.
Right.
So, like, you don't have to say this.
This would have been fine had you just not...
Just shut your mouth.
Just kept quiet.
You know who did keep quiet? Red Bull Racing was doing some circa 2019 mind games this weekend.
Truly.
Where they pulled Max's new, I think it was an engine, out of the car, said there were some issues with it, put an old engine in, and then for the race, put the new engine back in. And we're like, actually, there are no issues. It's fine. We now have a new engine. Like, is it a little bit laughable? Yes. Do I think that's what you should be doing? Pulling
100%.
Every level you can? Yes.
Also, Max Verstappen, fake I to give a fucker, coming into the press conference being like, yeah, I don't really care. It's nice if it happens. It's nice if it doesn't happen.
He wants that with teeth.
You want it with teeth and blood.
So Oscar did end up overtaking Lando at the start of the race, like turn one.
Wow. I forgot what it was like to see racing from that team.
Well, so it wasn't racing is the thing.
You think that was intentional?
No, they talked about it. They talked about it before the race. And they said, Oscar, if you want, you can overtake Lando so you can try and hunt Max down because Oscar was on what they thought would be the better tires to start the race on. Hards.
Oh, okay.
So it wasn't actual racing. It was a plan they were like, oh, Oscar probably can like make up ground to Max.
Well, the one thing I enjoyed about the race
is
was
actually
just
fake.
Taken away from me.
Yeah.
Much like the entire fucking season.
Yeah. Classic McLaren. There were also a lot of rumors that Mark Webber took Oscar out for ice cream the night before the race.
I did see this.
And I'm like, what was that conversation about? I want to know so bad.
It was like, so here's how I say not bad for a number 2 driver. Let's hear you practice saying it.
Right. It's like a learned humility ritual.
Yeah. Also, ice cream.
I know.
I mean, I understand they're in Abu Dhabi.
He's
where,
not
like,
12.
But like in Abu Dhabi, to be fair, there's not a lot of drinking. I think that's a secret that people don't really understand about Abu Dhabi and why this is so asinine to have this championship at the end is that there's no champagne. It's rose water. There's not supposed to be any alcohol at the bars or clubs or after parties because it's haram.
Also, like, unless you're married, you can't stay in the same room. So like girlfriends in Abu Dhabi will like pair up. This has happened for a couple of years now. Charles and Carlos's girlfriends are like friends.
Yeah.
And so they'll split a hotel room.
There's a whole lot of shit that's fucked up about Abu Dhabi.
It's a fucked up place for a lot of reasons.
Anyways,
I just think it's so funny that Mark Webber was like, hey, so as like third in line of a long tradition of Australian second seat drivers who got fucked over by their teams, let's have a chat.
On behalf of myself and Daniel Ricciardo, I'd like to welcome you to a lifetime of misery.
And I was thinking about this because at the end of the race, Zach Brown made a comment to the press about how like they've won a title with Lando and now they're going to go and win a title with Oscar. And it's like, hey, baby, I know how this ends. Get out.
I think I've seen this film before and I didn't like the ending.
Get out.
I fucking hate that man.
Yeah. No, he sucks. Like, that's the worst part about it is that Zach Brown is happy.
Can I say the second worst part about it?
Yeah.
This is even the second. There's so many bad things about it. Lando Norris fully overtook off track.
Oh, yeah. That I did see people talking about this because Yuki was defending. They were going down, I think, the start-finish straight.
Defending.
Right. Yuki, you're a bum. I've said that forever. I'll say it again. Whatever. That was so fucking annoying.
So one race of the year didn't crash into somebody overtaking him. The one race.
I know. It's crazy we didn't have a safety car. Everyone was waiting for one.
You couldn't have just kept the same form going?
So Yuki was trying to defend. They were going down the start-finish straight. Essentially what Stewart's result is that Yuki pushed Lando offline. And so he ended up having to go off track to like stay within the race. He ended up overtaking Yuki off track. This is typically a slam dunk penalty. It is very obvious that all four wheels were outside of the white line that then determines whether or not you're on track. Stewart sat on this for at least 15 minutes. It was a very long investigation period. Ultimately decided that Yuki pushed Lando off track. Yuki got a 5-second penalty. Lando was classified as racing incident and he didn't have to give any sort of position back or take any penalty. My heart dropped in my ass when that happened because at that point it's like, all right, well, this is the end of the race now. And I did see people talking about this, not really journalists. So like, I'll say that caveat. The proletariat, if you will. We're talking about this. Yeah. What is it? Like the fourth estate?
That's journalists.
Okay. The third estate.
That's priests.
Okay. Well, our estate. The people.
The people.
Talking about this, and I thought it was interesting. I don't know like how fully I believe it, but people were saying that this is like a steward call that is in direct payback to Max on 2021 in the sense that because stewarding in 2021 in Abu Dhabi is still so contentious and thought to be in favor of Max, this theoretically wipes their slate clean from like that original sin. I don't know like how much I believe that, but it's compelling nonetheless.
Here's the thing. If they were going to do that, I would have given no penalties to anyone the entire race.
Yeah, but they can't just come out and do that. That's the thing.
Right. So here's my thought process. This is why I think that there is maybe a little bit more hinky-pinky going on. Number one, during this very long investigation period on F1 TV, they started off talking about how it was really all four wheels off the track, and that's kind of a slam dunk penalty. And that kind of progressed into them saying, oh, well, you don't want the championship decided by the stewards. Oh, you don't want this, and that. Oh, it wouldn't have made a difference. And I'm thinking, I'm not sure how natural of an evolution in commentary this is.
Oh, the commentary was very, very clearly informed by a desire to not piss off F1.
Correct.
That is 100% true. I will never argue with you on that.
The second element of this that tells me this was hinky-pinky is that the viewers never once saw a replay of that moment.
Yeah, I think they had it on Sky, but they didn't have it on F1 TV.
So that tells me there's some cahooting going on.
Yeah, I don't, here's where I think we disagree. I don't think McLaren is involved in that decision. I think there's probably pressure, but I think it's ultimately like a decision in the sense of they just decided to wash their hands of it rather than have another instance of being accused of fixing a championship.
I also think very much so, regardless of McLaren. I'm not sure McLaren was involved. Let's leave McLaren out of it for a second. I just find it fundamentally untrue to think that the FIA and F1 would prefer Max to be champion over Lando Norris.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's not that I disagree. I think their decision-making wasn't based on that.
It very well may not have been in this exact instance, but I think that at multiple points over the season, they looked the other way.
Oh, this is true.
They wanted Lando to have the absolute best shot possible because
they won a title fight. I think that's like the crux of the issue, is that they want some kind of fight.
I don't even think it's that they want a title fight, because Oscar was not given the same kind of breaks despite being so close and leading the championship the entire year.
I mean, yeah, I could see that argument.
Like, they wanted a British world champion again. Lando is a very clean,
I sincerely doubt
clean.
that. I sincerely doubt that. Here's the thing. When all of this like conspiracy stuff happens, it's fun and it's sexy to talk about. There are dozens of people in these rooms. This stuff does not stay secret.
No, it doesn't exist in a vacuum.
It often comes out a lot earlier and like quicker and clearer than people think it does. Do I think that there are people in F1, in Liberty Media, that want a specific series of events to happen? Yeah, we're all human. I sincerely doubt there was a concerted effort to build anything other than a legitimate title fight, because these sporting series owners think that that is the only thing they can market to audiences is an exciting title fight. So that's what they want. This is the whole thing that MotoGP has been struggling with in 2025. It's what F1 reckoned with in 2023, which was arguably like an insane season and will go down in history as one of the most incredible seasons ever. To me, that is the crux of the issue, is that they wanted to build a title fight. And it just so happened that McLaren is this historic, squeaky clean team with two young, very talented drivers. One of them happens to be British, and they both happen to have big fan bases. That, to me, is like the most likely truth of the matter. I sincerely doubt there was like a concerted effort. I can't argue that there are stewarding decisions that feel very heavy-handed in favor of Lando or in favor of Oscar. I think we also have to remember that there aren't full-time stewards. Like, this is very much like not a consistent thing either. And teams have discretion on what they can fight and what they can like exert pressure on. Honestly, I think Abu Dhabi 2025 and Abu Dhabi 2021 are not dissimilar situations.
I agree in that I think that there was a lot of help from external forces to make a title fight happen.
Totally. I think it's very frustrating that in a sport with incredibly rigid and specific rules, we end up with a title fight at the end of the season where stewards are afraid of actually enforcing their own rules.
Look, this is the sport of corruption. This is not a sport that follows rules. It does not follow its own rules. It just doesn't. It doesn't consistently. And that's the deal you make with the devil when you become a fan of this sport. If you want every decision to be fairly metered out between drivers, if you want them to be racing out equal machinery, if you want there to be no advantages, like this is simply not the sport for you.
I agree, but I think, again, if you look at MotoGP, that's what I've been really interested to watch this whole season is we have a lead steward, and he's a new guy. He was actually on commentary for Dorna for a couple of years, Simon Crafar, and he's very well respected within the paddock. He's always been a straight shooter. He has his biases, this is true, but what's been really interesting about him as a lead steward for MotoGP this year is that he's reintroduced like a level of consistency. The sport is rife with corruption. This is not an F1 specific issue. There are ways in which you can build in safeguards for legitimate stewarding and legitimate like racecraft. And I think that is the bigger issue I have with F1. And I personally think that like, yes, it's a sport of corruption and it's a sport of money and oil barons and terrorists. I can still expect and ask for legitimate racing.
I agree. Can I say two more things that really annoyed me about Lando Norris?
Absolutely. This is a safe space for you.
Thank you. The first was that he, after like not even gotten to the podium yet, in the cool down room, was like, to Max, do they always make you feel like a zoo animal when you've won the championship? Bro, shut the fuck up.
So I turned that off because I was like, I just don't.
No, I fully turned it off too, which is why I was so shocked to see it come out. The second thing is that after he had been crying, Mr. So-called mental health said, wow, I look like a loser.
I saw that quote, but I didn't know that was the context. Mr. Mental Health himself.
Mr. Mental Health himself. Thirdly.
That's so fucking funny. Remember how you said only two things?
Speaking of mental health, his whole thing is, I became champion and I did it my way. implying he did it politely and without being mean and nasty like Max Verstappen and those cheating, nasty people at Red Bull Racing.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm not shocked by that because that is McLaren's whole shtick.
And to that, I just have to say, I have to laugh. I have to laugh. It's so ludicrous. I have to laugh.
I feel like Ron Dennis is like rolling over in his grave right now.
No, literally.
And I don't even think he's dead. Preemptively, he got into his grave, rolled around, got really pissed, and then went back to his life.
Hating people eating peaches.
Well, it's just like, we've talked a lot about this season with like Oscar losing his dog. And it's like, McLaren is so fucking boring. Like, there's nothing exciting about them.
But the thing is, too, is that Lando was like a nasty little bratty bitch.
He's always been a little brat.
Like, multiple times this past weekend, let alone during this season.
No, but I'm talking about for the last 6 years.
No, 100%. So to say that I did it my way, being a nice, fair sportsman who like is polite and British and upright and moral.
He also didn't do it fair, but that's because McLaren has a weird idea of fair.
Right. So like, it's just silly. It's goosery.
Again, I think this is going to be one of those things where it's like 2023 is going to go down as one of the most iconic seasons in F1 for a long time. I don't feel the same way about 2025. I think 2025 is going to lead to a larger conversation of like, what does it mean to actually have team culture? What does it mean to try and eschew this idea of fairness when in reality you are in control of the entire season? Mm-hmm. What does it mean to have a culture of constant like losing dog even if you were in the front? There are so many things about this season that I think are legitimately interesting. Unfortunately, none of them are Lando's commitment to this idea of fairness that ultimately isn't true.
Yeah. And do you know what I think that the overarching takeaway from this season is going to be?
What?
Wow. Max Verstappen truly is one of the greatest drivers of all time.
Oh, yeah. We've been new.
In the history books, this is not going to be a story of Braun and the $1 team and the scrappy underdogs. And this is not going to be a story of Nico Rosberg overcoming this like generational battle with his best friend turned enemy. And it's not going to be whatever the fuck Jacques Villeneuve did. I don't know. I don't care enough to find out, frankly. It's going to be, damn, Max Verstappen truly was the best driver in the world. And to the people that say, and I will not abide by at all, I will not tolerate this talk, is Lando Norris beat prime Max Verstappen on merit.
No, he didn't.
He didn't. You know it. I know it. Everyone knows it.
You don't do that in F1 unless you're teammates. Like, by design of the sport, that's not how it works.
Correct.
That's just not how it works. I also think it's really funny that pretty much everyone, including Alan Prost, we're like, yeah, like Lando's the champion, but Max's season, man, like that was crazy.
Yeah.
All of the articles coming out are like, Lando definitely deserves this, right? Like, he definitely deserves this, but Max, that was crazy. Okay, what other things do we need to talk about from this weekend other than that?
Alex Albon placed P8 in the Drivers' Championship, the highest any Williams driver has placed in a very long time.
And that's on consistency. We were talking about this last week about like Alex versus Carlos. I stand by that. Like, I think when you're a rebuilding team, you need that consistency.
He was so consistent at the beginning half of the season that even 2 podiums could not make a sizable dent in the difference between him and Carlos.
I'm excited to see them next season. I think it'll be a really good story.
I'm going to be so for real. I have McLaren doing very well next season.
Williams?
Nope. Shut up. I have Williams doing very well next season. God, I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it, God. God, are you there? God, it's me, Zoe. I didn't mean it.
What else is going on? Helmut Marko might be gone. This is crazy.
The fucking finally. That's a grave somebody needs to roll in.
We know that there's been political nonsense going on at Red Bull for years, ever since Didi died. But current reporting is making the argument that Marko is now out. What I find really just like bonkers about his whole story is that Didi appointed Helmut Marko as essentially like his voice
proxy,
while Christian Horner was like a new untried team principal. So Once Didi died, his son Mark basically was like, I don't really want to get involved, which then led to a more obvious and intense power struggle between Christian Horner and Helmut Marko, two of the worst people involved in this sport in a while.
And on Earth, frankly.
Yeah, you could say that. This culminated more recently in Christian Horner's sexual harassment allegations, the kind of fumbling of Red Bull internally around the whole process. And then you very quickly start to see Helmut Marko, Jos Verstappen, and other major players within the Red Bull organization turning. Alliances are shifting. It's a whole thing.
Game of Thrones.
Right. Christian Horner gets fired. Marko apparently, reportedly,
this is fucking insane.
Takes this as, I am now in control of the Red Bull project.
He was like, this is the mandate given to me by God. I now have the divine right of kings.
Meanwhile, Laurent Mekies is like, hey guys, I'm here.
He's got his backpack. It's my first day at school. And
I'm ready to go.
Helmut Marko is like, sit down, peasant.
And like Laurent Mekies, I've said it before, I've said it again. He had an incredible half of a first season. I think he should be genuinely very proud of himself and the team. One of the things Marko did in his like going crazy with power of the summer, he signed Arvid Lindblad for VCARB on his own initiative before a decision had ever really been made internally. He then didn't care about the criticism he received, allegedly, for signing Lindblad, and signed another junior, Alexander Dunn, who I think is Irish.
We talked about him
later
last
this year.
week.
No, we did. And this was a big issue because Marko reportedly knew that all of the shareholders, Laurent Mekies and Mintzlaff, had already decided they didn't want Dunn. Yeah, that apparently hasn't been received well.
No, I can't imagine why.
He was reportedly instructed to terminate the contract with Dunn immediately.
And they had to do like a lot of work.
Apparently they had to pay a shit ton of fucking money to get out of that contract.
Yeah.
Because it's a contract.
And what's so crazy to me is that this was so unwanted by Red Bull that we did not know about it until today. I don't think anybody knew that Red Bull was even sniffing around.
Alex Dunn.
No,
no one knew.
Which is crazy. Okay. Other things that I did enjoy.
Not much, honestly.
Yeah.
I enjoyed Charles Leclerc being back up at the top again.
We have to look at our predictions from the race.
Oh my God.
I said Max Verstappen P1, Oscar Piastri P2, so I got that right. I did say George Russell P3. Once again, made the same mistake as last week, which is putting my hope in George Russell.
Now, like, why is he letting me down so bad?
I said Lando Norris P5, that didn't happen. I did say Fail King Fernando Alonso, which didn't happen. He did fine. He actually did really well this whole weekend.
Yes, he did. The power of old man compelled him.
He really got a boost from Jorge's bike that he stole. You said Max P1. George P2.
Yeah.
Carlos Sainz P3.
I mean, he was up there.
Yeah. Lando Norris P4.
Actually, no, he wasn't.
Your last reverse curse of the season. You said Charles Leclerc, Fail King.
My power?
Your power!
My power?
Your power! Literally your power.
What the fuck? That was crazy. Should we talk about our season predictions really quick, too?
Yeah, why not?
For our predictions for this season, we did a similar kind of thing for F1, where we did the top 3. Obviously, the WDC is part of that. We also did the Constructors' Champion prediction and a Crash King as well. Crash King looks a little bit different for F1, but we'll get there when we get there. For the Constructors' Championship, I predicted McLaren and you predicted Ferrari.
You know what? This was my first mistake of the whole season.
Yeah.
Was to think that Ferrari would design their car based on the laws of physics of this planet.
Of this universe. That was on us. That was on us.
And that's on me.
Just wait. No, it's on us. It's on us. Just wait.
Oh, okay.
Obviously, the real constructor champion was McLaren, so that's a point for Zoe.
She's up to 2 points. 2 points.
Of the top 3, I guessed, wait for it, Max Champion, Lando P2, Lewis P3. Why did I do that? Why did I do that?
Oh my God, we had such hope.
Do you want to hear what you guessed?
Yeah, what did I guess?
Max champion.
Mm-hmm.
Lewis P2. Lando P3.
Oh my God. I wanna go back to who I was then.
I know, I was unhurt.
I had yet to experience disappointment.
But we'd be bereft of this complicated joy.
My God. Wow. Remember
so
when we
yeah,
thought
the real top 3 was Lando, Max, and Oscar.
I like how we didn't factor Oscar in at all.
Well, we didn't factor Alex Marquez in at all for MotoGP.
No. Oh my God. I can't believe and it's on us. We did think that Ferrari would use laws of this universe. And
we did think Lewis was going to make it work, but he didn't. So
wow.
For Crash King, the way the data is coming out, it's more of an analysis of like who has cost their teams the most money.
Deconstructors Championship.
Right, exactly, is what it's colloquially referred to as. You and I agreed on this. We both guessed partly because we hate him. And actually, he finished 10th in the Deconstructors.
Halfway there.
Gabby Bortoletto, P1 in the Deconstructors Championship fight.
Massive crash.
You know who's P2?
Lando Norris.
Yuki Tsunoda.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, that tracks.
Yeah.
That tracks. Lando was P3.
Was he?
I think so. Lando Norris costs $2.34 million. And Yuki Tsunoda cost Lando beat Yuki.
Wait.
Yuki is estimated to have cost Red Bull $2.30.
$40,000?
A $40,000 difference.
That's crazy. Wow. My data was outdated.
Yep. Jack Doohan had a really strong showing.
Of course he did. That's my guy. That's my goat.
At $1.5 million.
That's my goat.
You know who had the least?
Wasn't it like Max?
It was either Max or George.
Yeah, that tracks. Because George raced most of the season.
I think it's George. I think George was the only driver to finish the entire season without DNFing.
I think he did. Yeah.
Good for him.
And still he let me down.
Exactly. Well.
God, fuck this year.
So true. One good thing about this year.
It's over.
We started MotoMouths.
Yeah. You know another good thing about this year?
What?
Marc Marquez.
So true. And Alex Marquez.
Yeah.
And Max Verstappen. Still a great thing.
Still my guy.
That brings us to the grid as ... which for the uninitiated is a moment in our podcast where we categorize a handful of riders and drivers from across the great wide world of motorsport as a person, place, thing, idea, concept, and in honor of it being really cold outside. Like really cold outside.
It's chilly.
Baby, it's cold outside. We are going to do the grid as different winter activities that you can do in the cold. Hockey being one, to tie it into a core theme of this episode. Would you like to go first?
Yes. For my picks, for the Edmonton Oilers, I pick in the first round draft.
For the Montreal Metros.
The Voyageurs. For my pick, I am going to go with Luca Marini. I think he gets heavy into knitting over the winter.
Okay.
And I think he gets into some bonkers, crazy color work that has like insane charts because he's so cerebral. Again, man is learning Japanese.
Right, for shiggles.
I hate that word, but yes. I think he would fuck up some knitting patterns. Luca Marini, call me. You're married.
Commission
I just
him
think
to
he'd be
knit you
interested
something.
in it. I just think you'd be interested in it.
Join Zoe's knitting circle.
And you can knit something really cute for your little girl, just to make it wholesome. I do think that Marc Marquez I think he's like skiing, snowboarding, whatever, like anything that he can do on a slope to make people feel hunted, I think is what he would do.
It's, what is it called?
What?
The biathlon. The biathlon? Is that what it's called? Biathlon? Yes. The biathlon is cross-country skiing, and then you stop and you shoot at a bunch of targets, and then you keep cross-country skiing.
I changed my answer. That's smart. Yeah.
The biathlon.
Yeah. And then I think Marco Bezzecchi would go dog sledding.
100%. Get his ass to the Iditarod.
Yeah. He'd just go to Finland.
Just go.
Enjoy.
For me, Ollie Behrman is that vine of the dad pulling the sled tube just out from underneath the little girl as she falls face first into the snow.
Is Ollie the dad or the girl?
The girl.
Yeah.
And then he just keeps doing it.
Yeah.
And then I think Lewis Hamilton is snowshoeing.
Yeah.
He wants to take a long fucking walk.
No, actually, Lewis Hamilton, and this is like a thing that is less of a metaphor for his season and more like something I actually could see him doing over the winter. He would go like Iceland cave hopping.
Yes.
That man loves to do some shit that could end his life.
Charles went ice climbing.
He does it every year. It's so crazy.
As a climber, I do not fuck with ice climbing.
No, it's horrifying.
Horrifying.
Bonus, I think Pecco Bagnaia is a cozy puzzle guy.
100% agree.
He loves a Lego.
Can I add in further? I think Fernando Alonso is addicted to Hallmark Christmas movies.
I could see it.
I think he eats that shit up. I can't believe he stole a bike.
No, like we have to keep that quiet. We don't want him to go to prison for it.
No, truly. They wouldn't imprison him. He's pregnant.
Oh my God, you're so right. How did I forget? And he's a child.
Teen pregnancy.
Rookie Fernando Alonso.
Oh, who do we think is going to be Rookie of the Year?
Fernando Alonso.
100%. Not even a question.
I think it's going to be...
It's got to be Kimi.
No, I think it's going to be Isaac.
No, 2 podiums.
But he's got an ass car.
I still think they're going to give it to Kimi. I wish I had joy and whimsy as well, but I don't.
Yeah. I could see it being Kimi. I could also see it being Ollie. I think that's it.
I think that's it. So that brings us to the end of the podcast. Make sure to come hang out with us on Instagram, TikTok, Threads, YouTube, and then make sure to like, share, rate, review, engage with in any way, shape, or form on the podcast. And also, if you need some Christmas or Hanukkah gifts,
we do have a website.
We do have a website, MotoMouths.com, with some really cute merch to foist upon your loved ones. Or yourself.
Or yourself.
Anyways, let's keep chatting soon.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.